Tēnā koutou katoa. Kei konei tātou I Ōrākei Marae. He wāhi e hono ai te tangata, te whenua, me te whakaaro Māori. Kia ora. Across Aotearoa, businesses are facing testing times. Here at Ōrākei Marae, we're having a kōrero grounded in kaupapa Māori, looking at the challenges and opportunities facing Māori business leaders and how they might navigate those challenges and opportunities using vision and resilience. I'm joined by BDO's National Māori Business Sector Leader, Solomon Dalton. Kia ora. Solomon, the Māori business sector occupies a unique space in Aotearoa, but it's not always that well researched or that well understood. What's the sentiment you're hearing about the Māori business sector at the moment?
Kia ora, Mike. Our national Pāki Māori team are always inspired by the mahi our Māori business leaders do. So financially times are tough, Mike, which is why it's important to look beyond the numbers and listen to the conversations we've had with our Māori business leaders to let them know that they're not alone. And that's where our annual survey comes in, the BDO Pūrongo Pāki Māori, where we share the common issues and the way forward for our Māori business leaders.
Ka pai. So this is the 7th BDO Māori Business Sector Report. What key takeouts can you share with Māori business leaders?
Our report shares business insights from over 290 business leaders across Aotearoa.
Oh.
So of course there's a range of perspectives, Mike, but our report highlights 4 key themes that are facing Māori businesses.
So what are those 4 themes?
Yeah, so we've got sector-specific sentiment, we've got our business performance and finance, we've got expanding horizons, and our last one being cultural well-being.
Ka pai. Well, it'd be great to explore some of these themes with you, Solomon. Let's start with sector-specific sentiment. What have you seen with that?
What we've seen, Mike, is that there's a more positive outlook than other business sectors throughout Aotearoa, with 64% of our Māori business leaders having a positive outlook on business performance.
Wow.
And
what's that?
That's because our Māori businesses are closely aligned to our agri sector, and that's also had some strong performance of late, around 74%, which is the highest of any sector in Aotearoa.
So we're talking things like dairy, red meat, horticulture,
forestry, all of those things that then obviously link to the rural communities or that regional sector being quite strong too.
So they're optimistic now. How's that looking for the future?
The optimism looking into the future is positive, with 72% of our Māori business leaders feeling optimistic about what the next 6 months is going to look like for our Pāki.
So that's great if you're involved with the agri sector, but yes, if you're a Māori business and not?
Well, yeah, like everyone else in Aotearoa, they're also struggling. So our small whānau businesses, our SMEs, they're finding it tough, just like everyone else.
And is that across the Motu?
That's what I'm seeing from a regional perspective, in terms of that flow-on effect from the reduced public sector spending, in particular around housing, which has a flow-on effect to our tourism, that whole discretionary spending, basically in terms of the retail sector. All of those are being impacted.
Tēnā koe, Solomon. Well, to complement your perspective on regional Māori business, we're delighted to be here at Ōrākei Marae, the heart of Tāmaki Makaurau, to take an urban perspective with the CEO of the Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei Trust, Lisa Davis. Kia ora, Lisa.
Tēnā koe.
Tēnā. Well, Lisa, what are some of the challenges facing urban Māori business leaders today?
Yeah, I feel some of the challenges that we're having to face today is really around the cost of living would be one of the biggest ones, because it's not just impacting really the people we serve, but it's also our workforce. And so we're having the challenges on a twofold perspective. The other one is, for us in particular, is the rising inflation or costs when it comes to healthcare in particular. All of those key services are impacted, both our employees and those we serve. And really it's how people show up to work, it's the mental health and all of those other elements. But from a business perspective, it's just the rising cost of everything, building costs, so to develop and access to housing. So now we're having to reassess our priorities. Some things are being paused, slowing down a few things as well, and just reorganising priorities.
Lisa, within urban Māori, are there any sector-specific areas of challenges?
Yeah, I find in the urban area, particularly in Tāmaki Makaurau, is the retail sector. For us, it's also the trades, so it impacts any development that we have. But what I'm finding is while there's a quiet confidence, there's also, really a downturn in the cash flow that businesses have, so they can't invest in the people they need to bring in to really increase their capability to deliver. So I find across all industries, it's probably quite similar across Aotearoa, but in particular, those are the ones I would say are impacted the most.
Ngā mihi nui, Lisa. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Kia ora.
Our next theme is business performance and finance, and pretty much what Lisa's just been talking about.
Yes, so outside of the agri sector, that's what we're seeing as well. The cost of living, inflationary, all having an impact on our Māori businesses.
So what's the key thing then for Māori business leaders to invest and grow their businesses?
What we've seen at a regional level and across the board is that managing cash flow is a key priority and a huge focus for our Māori business leaders. And there's a bit of a cautious optimism about the future. So although I highlighted that they are optimistic about it, some more certainty around the economic conditions in the market would help unlock the potential of our Māori businesses further.
So it's about certainty.
Yeah, so certainty will help Māori business leaders invest in their people and then hopefully stimulate the economy.
Solomon, the third thing we're looking at is expanding horizons. What do you mean by that?
So it'll be of no surprise to you, Mike, that Māori businesses hold people, profit and planet as their three biggest values. And what we're seeing is even during this current economic climate, we're seeing those priorities come to the forefront.
And how did that come through in the survey?
So even though the economic conditions have been tough, Māori business leaders have still ranked climate risk and responsibility in their top 5. So as an example of this, what we're seeing is the adoption of solar and the move into EV vehicles, which is not only cost efficient, but also a way of saving the environment as well.
So what are some other ways they're expanding their horizons?
So Māori business leaders are also adopting AI as a way of streamlining their work and their workload. And it's another cost-effective measure to reduce the workload they have on themselves and also cover some of the staffing issues that they may face.
Are there any other aspects of AI that are helping?
Yeah, definitely. So aside from the operational efficiencies of AI, it enables our Māori business leaders to focus on the key things to them, which is their people and their culture.
Great segue into the fourth theme, which is culture and well-being. Tell us about that.
Yes, Mike. So cultural well-being has emerged as a leading measure of success for our Māori business leaders, superseding our community engagement, which off the back of COVID was really necessary at that point in time. And so this shift to cultural well-being highlights the resurgence and the reclamation of our reo, our culture, and that is used as a way to uplift our mana, our wairua, especially in this time of economic uncertainty and the pressures that we face as Māori business leaders.
So things like kotahitanga, mahitahi.
All of those things are very important in this whole aspect of cultural well-being. Even the fact that there's been more mokopapa, that embracing of tāmoko and all of those things. What I'm seeing is our Māori business leaders are using those tools to uplift their wairua and their mana.
Tēnā koe, Solomon. So have you got any tips for our Māori business leaders addressing those four key themes?
Yeah, definitely, Mike. So from my perspective, the biggest thing we can do as Māori business leaders is lean into the support we have around ourselves. Collaborating, as you mentioned before, mahitahi, kotahitanga, those are some a key tip that our Māori business leaders could use. And so when we're talking about our sector, pulling in those leaders, those Māori leaders around us, bringing them into the fold, working together from a business performance and finances. It's actually getting in touch with your local Māori accountants or advisors and asking for their support when it's needed. In terms of expanding our horizons, the climate and the environment is always going to be front and foremost in terms of Māori business leaders. And it's also about reaching out to your AI experts and people that can support you in your AI journey. So in terms of cultural well-being, it's about leaning into our whānau and our support networks so that our mana and our wairua is uplifted.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Any more tips, Solomon?
There's always more tips, Mike, and you can find those in our report, but also you can reach out to our trusted BDO advisors.
Mihi ana ki a koe e ho. Tēnā koe.
Tēnā koe, Mike.